Fall is the start of the holiday season and a great time to decorate your home. In this video, I will show you how to make several fall-themed projects using the downloadable templates on our website that are sure to get you in the spirit of the season. Let's start with some tack-fused projects that can either be hung in your window from a hook, set in a plate stand as decor, or even slumped into a dish. For the first project, use a piece of black glass and the bat template available on our website. You will also need two more layers of glass, a top design layer like this 9661 white-gray transparent Prisma, and a base layer of clear. Trace the bat template on the black glass using silver Sharpie. Next, cut the pieces for the bat by making a series of cuts to break down each part of the bat. Clean any remaining silver Sharpie from your glass. It will not burn off during the firing. Place the bat pieces and the top design layer of glass on a base of clear glass on your kiln shelf and fire using this schedule. You can use the same schedule for all the projects in this video. In the next project, I will be making a hangable bat ornament. For this project, I will use a piece of black glass, a small piece of clear glass, and a small length of copper wire to create the hanging loop. The measurements for the components are in the downloadable PDF. Cut the glass for the bat pieces in the same manner as in Project 1, and clean any remaining silver Sharpie. To create the loop in copper wire, make a mark in the middle and bend using pliers. Place the pieces on your kiln shelf, starting with the wings and the piece of clear. The copper wire will be sandwiched between the clear piece and the body of the bat. Placing a touch of glue on the clear glass will help the copper wire stay in place during assembly. Finally, place the body of the bat on top of the copper wire and slightly overlapping the wings. The final tack fuse project is made using the pumpkin template. Cut out the template for your pumpkin design. I recommend numbering the pieces in order from left to right in case they get mixed up. For my pumpkin, I'm using 9640 orange red. The base glass for my project is oyster pearl. Cut the pumpkin pieces. For the stem, I'm using a small piece of 9637 reactive blue oyster pearl. Assemble the pumpkin pieces on the oyster pearl glass and place on a piece of clear glass. Fire to the same tack fuse schedule used earlier in the bat projects. Remember that the firing schedule is available on our website. Now let's move on to some stencil projects using the same templates and Wissmach frit powder. The first project uses the bat template as a stencil to create a frit powder design. I'm using honey transparent as my top layer and a layer of clear as my base. I use a frit jar lid to raise my glass from the table to make it easier to pick up after applying the frit powder. Remember to always wear your N95 mask when working with frit powder. I also placed tabs of tape on either side of my stencil. The tape makes it easier to pick the stencil up from the glass. Finally, I need a frit powder sifter and black frit powder. Apply the frit powder evenly across the entire design area of the stencil. Place the glass on a layer of clear on your kiln shelf and fire using the same schedule as used for the tack fused projects. Here's the firing schedule once again. The same process can be used to make a cute pumpkin dish. For mine, I'm using a layer of oyster pearl and 9641 dark red frit powder. After I apply the powder evenly over the stencil, I place the glass on a piece of clear and fire to the same schedule as the bat stencil project. The final stencil project idea uses the leaf template on our website to make a unique piece of 3mm art glass. Because the glass is fired at 3mm, it can be displayed as is in a plate stand or cut apart to create smaller projects, such as dishes like these. Once again, I use oyster pearl for my base glass. I cut my stencil a little smaller than my glass to show you how to remove unwanted powder using a chip brush. Again, I'm using 9641 dark red frit powder for my design. When I remove the stencil, you can see the excess frit powder on the edges of the glass. Not to worry. Simply sweep the powder from the glass with a brush. I use a small chip brush for this. Place the glass directly on the kiln shelf without a clear base and fire using the same schedule as the other stencil projects. I hope this video gets you in the spirit for the start of the holiday season. Happy kiln forming!